Honestly, thank you guys all for letting me know that this is the video that you guys wanted to see, and that is why I'm getting this video out for you guys. When I was going through this process, I watched YouTube videos, and they might say that this is the information they're giving you, but they're not actually giving you, like, I just want to know step by step, what do I do? They're not telling you, they're giving me stories. I don't want stories, I want facts, and I'm here to give you guys the facts, okay? So let's begin. Hey guys, All Things Dami here, and I'm back with another video. Yup. On my channel, we talk about all things hair care, nursing, and we vlog it all. In today's video though, we are talking about how to become a travel nurse in America as a Canadian or as someone who's not in America. And I'm gonna give you guys all the tea. I need you guys to grab your notebooks, like, you know, pen, paper, notebook, write it down. But no joke though, you guys are probably gonna have to write a few things down. Rewind, go back, save this video because this video is going to give you guys all the gems. And without further ado, let's like and subscribe and let's get right into the video. So we are beginning with our visa screen. That is the very first thing we need to do as we are getting on this journey to become a travel nurse in the United States. What is a visa screen? A visa screen is basically like credentialing verification. It's this website called CGFNS. I'm gonna put the link in the description box below. That's the first place you're gonna go. They're gonna verify that you are an actual nurse, that you even qualify to work in America. Okay, so now that we know what it is, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to the CGFNS website, cgfns.org. It's gonna be in the description box below. We're gonna hit visa credentialing assessment, and then we're gonna create an account. They're gonna ask you to fill out an application. In that application, you're gonna talk about your elementary school, your high school, your university, any other credentials and any other schooling that you've done throughout your nursing career. After you filled out your application, they're gonna ask you to purchase your visa screen and your visa credentialing assessment order. So that right there was 540 USD, almost about 700 Canadian dollars, and that is your visa screen. You've filled out the application and now you are paying for it. So you always think you're done once you've paid, but you're actually not. The work has just begun. Now you're actually sent in to like verify the things that you said in your application. You're verifying your academic records and your credentials. So what are you doing? You're contacting your university, you're contacting your licensing board. I had to contact CNO, and you're getting them to fill out forms and actually send it over to CGFNS's home base on your behalf. And like that is additional money. So I had to pay about $16 to CNO and about $15 for my university in order to send over my transcript and fill out those forms for me. Not a lot of work, but it is just something to do. They're also gonna ask you to take a picture of yourself and send it there, almost like a passport photo. So then once all your forms are in, you're gonna be waiting like 6 to 8 weeks, and then you will be approved. And at that point, I actually got a letter in the mail of like this big document with my name on it saying that I had a visa screen and it was valid to 2025. And I was like, holy shit, I have a 5-year visa screen. And that's just step one. All right, we've just done step one. We have gotten our visa screen. We have applied for our visa screen. And now it's time for us to get our US nursing license. That is step 2. You can do these like together, but personally, I just did it one at a time. Just one at a time, one problem at a time, because I just couldn't keep up. But essentially, as you're applying for your visa screen, you can be applying for your license. But now let's go into our US nursing license. How do we do that? First things first, you need to know which state do you want to go to. As Canadians, we don't have the luxury of having like a compact license because we are not Americans and we haven't been in America for a year, and so we just don't have that luxury. We need to apply for individual states at a time. So what state do you want to go to? That is the very first question. If you guys are applying through an agency, if you guys are talking to your recruiters, they're gonna tell you you can only apply to certain states. It's better to start with certain states, and most of the time it's because you get your license for those states faster. Personally, I was just like, I know where I wanna go. I'm not in a rush. That's where I'm gonna apply for, and that's where I'm gonna go. Do not let any recruiters like scam you into thinking you can only apply to those states. You can apply to any state that you want, except for the states that require social security numbers, like California, because you need a social security number and you just don't have that. But for any of them that you just need to apply and wait, you can truly apply as long as you have the time to wait. Okay, so like I said, I personally applied to Texas, so I'm now gonna go into a little bit more detail of how to apply for the Texas license specifically. I can assume that it is general. As I'm starting to apply for my California license and my New York license, I'm seeing a lot of overlap, but like from start to finish, I have finished my Texas license, so I'm gonna tell you guys how that went. So first things first, you're gonna have to go to the Board of Nursing for that state. Texas Board of Nursing. I'm also going to put that link in the description. That is the website that you're going to use to guide you, and that's the website that you're going to go to and create an account on, and so on and so forth. So once I went to the Texas Board of Nursing website, I filled out a nursing endorsement application. So once you fill out your application, you're going to have to do a whole bunch of stuff, but you can do it in whatever order you want. Those stuff include a jurisprudence exam, which is like $50 US, about $70 USD Canadian. You're gonna have to do your fingerprints. Now you're gonna have to go through, in Canada we do police checks. For them, it's like a fingerprint system run through the FBI. That was a little bit confusing. It was done with a website called like Indentico. And that was quite confusing because when you go on the website, it's like, okay, here's where you can go to do your fingerprints, where it's under like an accredited person. Mind you, I'm in Canada. So I called them. I said, hey, like I'm not anywhere here. Like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? And they're like, you're gonna have to find someone where you are and send in your fingerprints. I was like, holy shit, that sounds kind of complicated. So that's what I did. I went on Google, accredited fingerprinting agencies, like the city that I'm in. So I ended up doing that. It was $70, super quick. I just did the digital fingerprints in their office. They printed that out for me. I then took it to UPS. And then I sent that over through tracking. That was about $30. So in total for my fingerprints, it was about $100. And after that, I had to register in a website called Nursey. And basically that just verifies that you are licensed to practice in the United States. It's kind of like our CNO. Like if we'll type in our name, it'll say like your name, where you worked, if your license is active or not. And it's the same type of aspect, just something to apply for. So in order for me not to have to do my NCLEX again, Texas also required for me to do like a verification as well. So just like I did for my visa screen, I took whatever forms they gave me, I faxed it over to my university, they filled it out, and they sent it to them. Whatever forms they gave me, faxed it over to CNO, they filled that out and sent it to them. And then as they started to receive stuff, things were slowly getting checked off my list. Once everything was checked off, they said to wait 4 to 6 weeks to get the license. So I ended up getting my license exactly 4 weeks after sending it in, and I got this piece of paper and I'm like, holy shit, I am licensed to nurse in Texas. This is crazy. And now the work begins. Okay, so now we're getting to step 3. Step 3, I'm contacting all the agencies. Hey, I have whatever you guys need, let's do it. At this point, I decided to contact my agencies and I started to like vet recruiters and things like that. A lot of people start off the process with a recruiter. Like you guys know, maybe I did it the hard way, I don't know, but this is exactly what I did. Some agencies will walk through it with you and some of them will give you the information and still ask you to do it on your own. Might as well just go to them when you're done, when you're actually ready to work, because the same questions are gonna ask you. Where's your visa screen? What license do you have? Oh, I don't know, I'm just interested. Okay, so we need to get going on that. So it's just better to just go there with all these things done. It's actually not that hard once you like get going. I do want to warn you guys about this process though, because I went through a lot of agencies. I pretty much started off with 6 and one by one they just kept coming out. One of them straight up told me like, you don't have a social security number? Holla at me when you have a social security number. We will not proceed with your application without a social security number. Like the crazy part is you need a social security number to work in the States, but you can't get a social security number till you've worked in the States. So we're gonna get into how I was able to get my social security number. First things first, I had to get a TN visa. How did I get my TN visa? Once I found that recruiter and I found someone who would go through this process with me, I found a job with them. They drafted up a work permit, a work letter, something for me to bring with me to the airport. Just saying, this is the job, this is the company that I work with, this is how long I'll be in the States, I am a travel nurse. And then I pack up my bags, I book my flight, and I go to the airport. And as I'm in the airport and as I'm going through like TSA pre-check or like whatever, US screening, that is when I get my TN visa. So I go up to the guy, he's like, why are you coming into the States? Do you have anything with you? How long do you plan on staying? And at that point, my one line, hi, I'm a travel nurse and I wanted to apply for my travel nurse visa. He's like, oh, okay, we have to take you to the back. And I'm like, yes, I was prepared, I know. So they take me to the back where they have their criminals and they're going through people's luggages and they're doing the most, but I'm there sitting nervous AF. And these are the documents that I brought with me. My employment letter. I brought a copy of my degree, like a photocopy of my degree. I brought my visa screen as well as a photocopy of it, my Texas license, the original, as well as a photocopy of it, as well as my temporary US address. So those are the 5 things that they asked me while I was getting my visa. So that your visa is something that you get at the airport. Like, you've already gone through all of this, you are on your way. That is when you get your visa. After that, she says I was approved and I got a 3-year TN visa for the United States. So at that point, my legal travel status was changed to TN. And so every time I'm crossing the borders, now they see that I am a TN. All right, so now we're gonna finish up with that last step, which is your social security number. Okay, so how do you get a social security number in the States? Like you guys know, a lot of places will not even accept you because they all think that you need a social security number in order to work in the States. But I'm telling you right now, you do not. Not every hospital will accept you. Trust me, they will not. Trust me, I've applied to a lot of jobs. They will not all accept you, but some of them will. And it's also under the pretense that you're gonna get your social security number once you've been in the States. They all understand that. So anyways, getting your social security number is very simple, but it has become complicated over the years. Before COVID, while I was still in Canada, I could have called, booked an appointment, or they would have said like, you know, just line up and come in. As soon as I get to Texas, any of my days off, I could have gone to the Social Security office, lined up, filled out an application, and I would be on my way. But because of COVID, now they're doing like appointments only. Like their offices themselves are closed. No one is lining up. And so I'm calling for appointments. And so I called probably for like, since I got my job to when I was even here, I was still calling, and they were giving me the runaround. Oh, because of COVID, you need to be in the States for at least 2 weeks before I can even make your appointment. You need to be in the States for 30 days before I can make my appointment. And I'm like, yo, babes, like my job is 3 months. Like, but honestly, just keep calling. Every state is a little bit different, but I am talking about what I experienced personally in Texas. And so I just kept calling. And then one day I got this gracious man and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna book your appointment. Thank you. So thank you so much. He said, you seem organized. I said, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. And so he booked my appointment. And what did I bring with me? I brought a copy of my I-94. That is like your immigration status in America. Once my, like the website that changes my status to TN, it's called your I-94. So your recruiter will send that to you. Your recruiting agency will send that to you. I filled out a form called the SS5, and it's just like the Social Security application. You just go to socialsecurity.com or whatever, go to their forms, print that out, fill it out. And my passport. Took that with me to my application. I sat down for about 10-20 minutes. We went through it with me. He asked me a few questions, and then he said, babes, like, he didn't say babes, but he was like, okay, you're gonna get your social security number in 2 to 3 weeks. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's freaking amazing. And so currently I am waiting for that. Yeah, they about to mess up and give me citizenship. But honestly, guys, I really hope that you guys understood this. If at any point you guys need clarification, just like, I replied to all my comments. Please ask your question. Ask your question. I did as much as I could and I tried to simplify it as much as possible, but it can still be confusing. But basically it is relatively simple if you just look at the steps. What did I do first? I did my visa screen. Then I applied for my license. I started talking to agencies. They provided me with the employment letter that I was able to get my TN visa. And then once I got my job and I was in the States, I was able to get my social security number. Period. If you guys have any friends that you guys feel like this video would be helpful for, please share. If you guys found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time in another video. Honestly, guys, just to add to that, I really want to encourage you guys to call these mofos, because a lot of people are going to be confused about the process as a Canadian, and you need to advocate for yourself. Let them know, lead with, I'm Canadian, I do not have a social security number. And then they will put you in a certain category. Some people will lock you off and you know, okay, I'm not going to even work with you because you don't even know me. You don't even know my kind.